I should get up.
Why does it matter that we're shooting?
Yeah, I use shoulding all the time. And my class found out and they can't stop saying shoulding.
So, you're shooting on yourself.
So for him, he's like, why does it matter that we're shooting ourselves all the time? So my answer to that would be do we want to be in a spot in our lives where we are being constantly hypercritical of ourselves or others? Do we want to be in a spot where we are constantly feeling like we're not achieving, we're less than, do we want to be in a constant place of shame?
And I took it one step further because he has a child who's autistic. And so I was like, a lot of times with autism, they do have pathological demand avoidance. As soon as you tell them they should do something, they don't want to do it. And so if you can find another way to say that, it might help you some.
And here's the thing, they're going to avoid something that's uncomfortable. That's the most human thing imaginable.
Right.
We all avoid uncomfortable things. And so can we make a conversation less uncomfortable? Can we make it more palatable? Can we, if the way we're approaching someone is in a more positive, productive manner, then why avoid that? We don't feel the need to avoid it as much. I avoid any situation that I don't like or is going to feel bad or hurtful in some way. And why would kids be any different?
Right.
I should get back in school and graduate college. Anything else? Nah, that's the big thing. Thank you, of course.
What is your expertise, or who are you?
I'm Brandon Eddy. I'm an associate professor in the couple and family therapy program at UNLV here. Some of my expertise in the field, I teach our theories courses, so people learn about different theories, in which they can present change with their clients, whether it be cognitive behavioral therapy, motion-focused therapy. I also teach the addictions course as well, and then practicum.
All right. What is a should statement?
So a should statement is, so I'll give a little bit of background information.
Perfect.
There is I'll say a brand of therapy, a theory of therapy called cognitive behavioral therapy. And cognitive behavioral therapy focuses on schemas or worldviews that people have in their lives. We can have a worldview. Something as simple when we're growing up as if it has 4 legs, it's a dog. And it doesn't matter if it's a cat or a dog or goat or alligator, it's a dog. When you're that age, that becomes your schema. Now as we get older, we develop more complex schemas, such as things that we're expected to do, or what it means to be a father, or since I do father research, right, or other things like that.
I should continue putting myself through college, get good grades, keep making music on the side for my boy Lil B, and get a job out of college, wife up, and then get a house, job security, that's always good. And then I should put down some wings at Wings and More.
So a should statement would be what we call a cognitive distortion or a thinking error. And it's just errors that we have in thinking that lead us to not always helpful outcomes. It's important to realize that all of us, I know we would say don't do all or nothing thinking, but pretty much all of us have some type of thinking errors in our lives.
But do you think that should statements impact all people in the same way?
They have the potential to. I think some people take should statements and it's this never-ending list of things I need to do or something I want to be. And some people can use it to motivate themselves and say, hey, this is something I should be doing. And they can say, okay, I'm not quite there yet, but I want to be able to do this. And so they can use it as, they can have self-compassion or empathy for not quite being where they want to be, and then use it as motivation.
Oh, I should do a lot of things. Okay. I should probably be a little more patient with my kids. Okay. I should probably make sure I wear makeup to work. Okay. Especially at nighttime when nobody cares and nobody's gonna see me anyway. All right. What else? I should probably eat better. Anything else? Should probably exercise. Last one? Sure. I should probably have more sex with my husband. All right, thank you. You're welcome.
I think a lot of people, and maybe the great majority of people, take that as shame and guilt for I should be doing this as a parent. I should be doing this as a clinician, right? As a student, I should be better than this in the room, or I should be farther along in learning about this. And I think it becomes shame for them, and as with shame, guilt can motivate, shame doesn't. Shame shuts us down, makes us be hard on ourselves, hurts our self-worth. So I think a lot of people it's very harmful for.
I shouldn't judge people before I get to know them.
Oh, I love that. Me neither.
I don't think anyone should, and I don't like it when people judge me because they don't know me. And I'm actually really nice.
You are really nice.
I am. So are you.
Aw. Do people judge you a lot before they know you?
I don't think so, because I think I put off like a nice vibe. Like, I think people can sense that I'm nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that. All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So you said that like guilt is helpful and shame is not. Can you like talk about that?
Yeah, guilt can be guilt isn't saying that I, at the core of me, am flawed.
Mm-hmm.
It might be, hey, I need to improve upon this, or I maybe feel a little guilty that I maybe responded this way, and because I know I can respond better.
Mm-hmm.
So guilt is not necessarily about who you are at the core of a person, being a good or bad person, as where shame leads us to say, I am a person of no worth, or I am lacking in some way, I am not enough. And I think to me that would be the difference between guilt and shame.
I should try to be more Christ-like, try to hit the mark that Jesus set for us and just love people more and forgive people more and just be a better person. We can all do that. I think I should try to lose some weight this winter. That's my plan, get in a little bit better shape. And right now, in this moment, I think I should go eat lunch because I'm hungry.
Sounds like a good plan.
What techniques do clinicians use to combat should statements?
So we bring recognition and insight to it. Then we might give them something like a thought record. And they have homework on this thought record. They have to go home and there's a moment that they will get triggered. Something's going to happen, an event's going to happen that brings out some of these statements, and they have to write that down. So they write down, okay, here's the event that happened, and then here's what I said to myself, here's how it made me feel, and then they have to go look, okay, what cognitive distortions can I maybe is impacting this? And so they can write, okay, I did a should statement, or I did all or nothing, or I did this. And then they have to replace that. Okay, what's another alternative besides I should do this? Okay, well, I'd like to do this, or I'd like to improve on this. So they have to give another thought. They have to replace it with at least, is there any other scenario in the world this could be? And then they have, okay, what's my belief now of this should statement? I might still believe it a little bit, but do I believe it less than before? Do I give myself room for compassion or room for an alternate explanation of something that happened? And so they learn, if they do that enough times, then they don't even need the paper. Then they're like, okay, I can do this in my head of, okay, it was intense in the moment, I really felt like that in the moment. However, maybe I can leave myself some room.
I should keep breathing
Yeah.
and listen to my heartbeat
Uh-huh.
and walk to the mailbox and back once a day just to keep my health going.
Uh-huh.
And mow when the grass needs it.
Uh-huh.
And then the rest of the time, just take it easy.
I love that.
How does this change people's lives?
I think it helps them have realistic expectations for themselves. I think a lot of our problems, either in relationships or in our life, come from expectations that are just not realistic or not accurate, and there's no way that we have a hope of meeting this expectation, or again for others or for ourselves, or they can't meet that expectation. And I think we start to realize that some of our thoughts can be detrimental, and we learn to challenge detrimental thoughts and change into more constructive thoughts. I mean, maybe at the end of the day, that thought, that should statement we have, maybe it still feels true, but maybe we give ourselves a little bit of grace in not being there quite yet. So it forces people, I think, to have self-compassion, to rein in some of the expectations we have for ourselves.
Awesome.
I should get away from this desk and go work out at least 3 times a week. Okay. Anything else? No. Well, thank you. You're welcome.
What do you hope for the clients or the audience watching this who changed this language? What's your best hopes?
Best hopes. There we go. I would really hope that they would. Expectations are a lot. I think if we have realistic expectations, and if we have a more, I guess, positive type of thinking, I think it impacts your relationships with other people. I mean, if I'm saying to myself, my spouse should be doing this, my partner should be doing this, my kids should be doing this, that is really really critical statements. And let's face it, I don't need the criticalness. My partner doesn't. My kids don't need all that critical, feeling like they're under the radar, under the microscope all the time. So it can kind of like people live on eggshells or walking on eggshells a lot of times. And I think it changes the atmosphere of a home when we're giving each other benefit of the doubt or giving each other a break.
I love that. Anything else you think we should know about shoulds?
In a world that is so, I think, hypercritical, especially with social media, I often, it's ironic doing something like this, but I told students I feel like social media is like a plague.
Right.
And I feel like it's a plague on self-esteem. And it's a plague on, if you get online, they shouldn't be doing this, they should be doing, and it's such a critical arena. And there's so much criticalness of one another and degrading one another and not building and uplifting one another. And I feel like should is one of those mechanisms through which people can hurt each other and to degrade. And I'm like, if we as a society could just stop shooting each other and shooting ourselves, I imagine the positivity and the kindness that we might feel towards one another.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know I've seen it in my practice. Like, I think that should is probably one of the first things that I teach my clients because it's so easy.
Yeah. Yes. And that's what I love about, even though I'm not like this purist CBT guru, is like cognitive distortions and thinking errors, these shoulds, they're really important. And it once you've done it and get in the habit of it, it becomes natural to then see it in others. And I'll tell people, in a show you're watching or with family members, I'm like, don't poke your family member when they say it, but just notice this and notice how it impacts them. And they do, and they come back and they're like, wow. The impact that type of thinking has is drastic. And so once they just change that, it's like a switch just flips.
Yeah.
And then they just look at positivity.
Yeah. I think it's fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I hope that the audience can work on it and find those things in themselves too.
And I would hope that the audience would as they're looking through this, do I do all or nothings? Do I do should? And I know it's more focused on should, right? But am I shoulding myself? And I hope they would come away and say, yeah, I'm doing this, but it's okay. I'm just going to work at doing it less.
Right.
And I'm going to work on improving so that I can be more tender and kind to myself.
Yeah. All right. Any last words?
No, I'm good. So.
Did you have fun?
I always have fun.
Yeah.
So I always have it's a great conversation.
Yeah.
So.
Ghost, what should you do?
What should you do, kitty?